I grew up my entire life playing sports, starting at a very young age, playing with friends in the street, playing hockey, basketball, football, baseball, whatever you can get your hands on, you're playing until the lights go out. And at a very young age, I got specialized or started to get really good at baseball. And it was high school where I started playing catcher and was fortunate enough to play varsity all 4 years, and then got the opportunity to play at Washington State as a catcher. And something that I know a lot of people work their entire lives to be able to do. But after 2 years, I quit after my sophomore year. And at the time, I thought I was quitting for 2 reasons. I came up with this term, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and the juice was what I was getting out of baseball, and the squeezing was the 6 a.m. workouts and the travel and summer ball, and missing all the things and opportunities that I thought I should be experiencing as a college kid. And then I also allowed myself to believe that I was hitting my head on my potential ceiling, and that I was never going to get any better, and that I was just maxed out. So really, what's the point? So after my sophomore year, I quit playing baseball. And I allowed myself to believe that what I did was right, basically, for a long time. And knowing what I know now, almost 10 years later, I'm able to look back and recognize a few things. And the things that helped me realize why I really quit were yoga and learning more about mental health. So the first thing that I didn't realize that I was running into at the time was extreme fear. And I know everyone gets afraid in sports and life, and a lot of times that holds people back, and I totally get that. But I went to Washington State as a catcher, specifically a defensive specialist, and I was so afraid of making mistakes that it was crippling, to the point where I had performance anxiety. And I can totally see how, if you're watching this or you've heard of performance anxiety or even just anxiety, you're like, okay, but that's not real, you're just mentally weak. But the best example I can give of that is before games, we would throw the ball around the diamond, and I had the yips so bad. If you don't know what the yips are, throw that into YouTube. It's sad, it's funny, but it's also sad. And I couldn't make the throw to third base. Every single game, I would throw it into left field, to the point where I would put 2 balls in the backs of my pocket, so that when that ball inevitably triple bounced into left field or airmailed into left field, I'd have another ball, a second ball even, to make that throw to third base. It's a 90-foot throw. I should be able to make that all the time. But my mental state was so bad in practice and games that I was crippled, basically. I was so afraid of failure that it was easier just to watch everyone else play than it was to go up to the plate, strike out, be okay striking out, and really let it all out on the field. And for a while, I labeled that as, oh, I've hit my ceiling, like I'm just not that good, so that's why I should quit. But as I've done a lot of work with my podcast and with myself and with coaches, being able to realize, like, there's a name for that. It's performance anxiety, and people get that, and it's something that once I had a name for, I felt like, man, if I could have just had the permission or the awareness to know that that's what I was dealing with, well, there's a bunch of tools that I now know and use to go and be able to fix that. And the other thing that yoga really helped me work through was just coming to the awareness point of why I actually quit. And I didn't quit because I was hitting my head on the ceiling. I didn't quit because the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. I quit because I didn't want to work hard. And the combination of being afraid to work hard and not wanting to work hard and having that really clash with my identity ultimately led to me quitting. And I know a lot of people say, like, everything happens for a reason, no regrets. And I know that I'm going to turn this in for something good, but I definitely regret it, to the point where since I've quit, every month or so, I have dreams that I'm playing my junior season, and for whatever reason, like, I can't find my glove, or I can't find my bag, or I'm like late to the bus. And it's like all these things that I just know, like, it's something that I wish I would have stuck with. So that's why I quit college baseball. But that also is what led me to creating Down Dog Athletics, and created Down Dog Athletics because I saw it as a way for athletes to get permission. Really, that's what my mission is give athletes permission to explore mental health, explore yoga, because I know that they can help them from a performance standpoint. From a physical standpoint, there can be benefits, but I know that there's so much more benefit to be had from just a mental awareness standpoint and a mental health standpoint. And that's kind of my why as to why I started it, why I quit my job at Amazon 4 months after starting Down Dog Athletics, is because I'm so passionate and believe that this is something that a lot of people can benefit from. And I get it, like it's a lot, some people will look at it and be like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't work for me. It's not meant to be something that works for me. But what I don't want is for someone to go through what I went through 5 years from now because they don't think that yoga or mental health is something that's acceptable to talk about, and they're just going to chalk it up to like, oh, I'm not good enough. What I think is really cool about having a yoga and a mental health practice is athletes already have a competitive side to them, and it's what I like to call their dark side, where they're able to be really focused and be in the moment and go and just crush whatever they need to crush, whether it's weights or a match. But then you also have this side that's slowed down and still, and it's more of a practice side, and that's what the yoga and the mental health and the meditation can be. And when you have the ability to go into both sides, you're able to expand that spectrum, and you're not one-dimensional. You're able to get what you need from both, and when you fuse them together, I believe that you become a better athlete. And so that's why I've created and will continue to create courses, coaching systems to help people achieve that balance between the mind and the body, the balance between the light and the dark side, the balance that if it gets out of that balance, that's where you see people get super stressed, or that's where you see people shut down and not have the ability to go and compete or perform at the level that they know that they're capable of. And if you're watching this and it resonates with you or someone that you know, I'm more than happy to have you reach out, connect. If there's a way that I can support you or connect you with other people that can support you, I'm more than happy to do that. Like I said, this is something that I'm super passionate about. I just want to help other people work through the same things that I wish I could have worked through, and the same things that honestly I'm still working through to this day.